So today I'm going to be making fettuccine, more specifically roasted beet fettuccine with beets from my dad's garden. And to make this, I'm going to be using my Kitchenaid food processor pasta roller and fettuccine cutter. If you like making pasta, I highly recommend investing in this Kitchenaid set. It's a set of 3. It has the roller, fettuccine, and a spaghetti. I love making pasta, so you can check out Craigslist, your local Craigslist, yard sales. Be surprised what you may find. So I'm just going to install it on my Kitchenaid mixer. And to do that, you simply just unscrew this little knob that's going to be on the front of your Kitchenaid. Take that off, and the little metal Kitchenaid cover comes right off once you unscrew that. I'm going to start with the roller because we need to roll the dough before we cut it. So that just goes right side up. You want the Kitchenaid. It says Kitchenaid right here. You want that to be facing up. And it just goes on. You need the screw again. And that just screws on. So to start, I'm going to be working with about 1/4 of the dough at once. I'm going to want to keep the rest of the dough wrapped while I'm working with it. And let's go ahead and get into this. There's some semolina flour for dusting. I'm going to use it for my work surface and as well for each nest of fettuccine I make to keep it from sticking together. Fettuccine freezes great. I love keeping it in my freezer. And you would just cook it for about 2 minutes longer than you would if it was fresh pasta. I'm just going to go ahead and cut off 1/4 of my dough. This recipe will be on my blog, so you can go ahead and find that at fromthefamilywithlove.com. The link will be below. So I'm going to take my 1/4 piece of pasta dough, and I'm just going to get a little bit of the semolina on the outside of it just to keep it from sticking. And you want to just flatten it, but instead of flattening it into a perfect circle, you want to kind of start making it oblong. A little more with the fresh roasted beets in here. It's a little more sticky of a dough than some of the fettuccine doughs I've worked with. So you're just going to, you can see I have it just flattened in a nice oval shape. And I'm just going to turn the mixer on. I'm going to put it, my lowest setting here is stir. The next setting up is 2. So I'm going to bring it right up to 2. It's okay that this is spinning. My roller is also spinning. And as you can see, I'm just going to lie this on top. And below, I'm going to catch the dough. I have my roller at the thickest setting. You want to start with the thickest. Get a little more flour on here. And you want to roll it through once. Fold your dough in half. And we're going to put it through one more time. So I have it on the thickest setting, which is on the Kitchenaid setting 1. And since folding it in half, I'm going to go ahead and put it through even one more time. And now I'm going to go to setting 2, and I'm going to do this all the way up, going through 2 times each setting until I get to setting 5. So there's 1 time. There's our second time. Now I'm going to go to setting 3. And each time I turn the knob, the rollers are getting closer and closer together. I'm just going to dust the dough a little bit more. So I'm putting my sheet of pasta through the last time on level 5 here. Oops, here goes. Perfect. So I'm going to take my sheet and I'm going to lie it out on my counter so it doesn't stick. Turn this off, and I'm just going to give this a nice dusting of my flour. This side, open it up a little bit, and I'm going to flip it and make sure the other side is well dusted as well. It's a very sticky dough, being the fresh beet pasta dough. Just going to sprinkle on that side. Now I'm going to change out my pasta roller attachment to my fettuccine attachment. Same thing. Just going to unscrew this here. This pops right off, and I'm going to put the fettuccine header on. Same thing. Kitchenaid facing up. Push it in and tighten. So now we are ready to cut. I'm going to put it again to my mixer to level 2, and we can go ahead. I'm going to just trim off the ends. They're a little stringy, and I want nice long strips of the fettuccine. And we're good to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to put my machine on to level 2, and here we go. I have a nice little mound of my flour here, so that once this falls, I'm just going to let it fall into a nice little nest. Perfect, and this right here is a perfect serving. I'm going to go ahead and take this nest and put it on my pan. I'm going to let it air dry for about 15 minutes. Sprinkle a little bit of the flour on top just to make sure it doesn't stick. Let it air dry for 15 minutes. Being a fresh egg pasta, I don't like to completely let it air dry. I'd rather store my fresh pasta in the refrigerator for 2 days, or I love freezing it for up to 3 months. I'm going to be putting a brown buttered sage sauce on this tonight for dinner, and I'll make sure to include that recipe on the blog. Thanks for watching. And just a couple things about cleaning your cutter and your roller. You don't want to wash with soap and water. The Kitchenaid actually comes with this wonderful little brush that can brush off all the flour. The very best tip for cleaning these, because you can see I do have a few little pieces of the pasta dough still in here. Let it dry. Set them on your counter, walk away for a couple hours. All that pasta dough, it's kind of like Play-Doh. It dries up, gets all crumbly. You can use your handy brush and just brush out all the crumbs and store. Getting them wet can really mess up the rollers. I like to shine a little bit of the stainless. This has some of the dough that's kind of just stuck on. So I just used a spray that's safe for stainless steel. Spray some on my cloth. I don't like to spray directly on the rollers. Spray on the cloth, and you can just wipe up your rollers. Hope you enjoyed this video.